Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to your HIMediaTV news update. I am your host, and today from NBC News by Lawrence Hurley, the Supreme Court rules ban on gun bump stocks, are unlawful. The ban was imposed by the Trump administration after the accessory was used during the 2017 mass shooting in Las Vegas in a 6-3 ruling along ideological lines. With the court's conservatives in the majority, the court held that an almost 100-year-old law aimed at banning machine guns cannot legitimately be interpreted to include bump stocks. The Trump administration imposed the prohibition after the Las Vegas mass shooting, in which Stephen Paddock used bump stock-equipped firearms to open fire on a country music festival, initially killing 58 people. Then President Donald Trump personally called for the accessory to be banned. Writing for the majority, Justice Clarence Thomas said that a firearm equipped with the accessory does not meet the definition of machine gun under federal law. The ruling prompted a vigorous dissent from liberal Justice Sonia Sotomayor. When I see a bird that walks like a duck, swims like a duck, quacks like a duck, I call that bird a duck, she wrote in a reference to the bump stocks enabling semi-automatic rifles to operate like machine guns. Sotomayor often took the rare step of reading a summary of her dissent in court. So, what do we think about this, by and large? All right, so I'm gonna keep it a buck. I find gun issues for me are relatively low on my priority list as far as politics are concerned. I am more concerned with increasing taxation on people making more than $1 million a year in capital gains taxes, like procedural bullshit like that, just specifically on the wealthy and ultra wealthy. I don't want anybody who's a $500,000 heir. I don't want your money. I don't want to raise your taxes. I just want, rich fuckheads to pay more taxes, and I want the government to use the taxation as a cudgel to basically systematically take away the money, the wealth that has been accrued by the ultra wealthy, and subsequently the power that comes with that money, which would decrease the amount of lobbying, which would decrease the amount of astroturfing, basically gimping the moneyed elite from being able to do shit. Guns issues are kind of like the border for me. Like, I nominally am. I think less guns are better, in a perfect world, and more more border and more compassionate border policy in a perfect world, but we don't live in a perfect world, and there are so many right-wing lunatics that I feel compelled to arm myself so I can splatter a fascist gray matter on the street when they try to attack people in my community for not fitting into their predefined definition of what is human. So I generally do I am pro-gun in the sense of, like, I am pro-gun for as long as I think guns are necessary, and they are necessary right now because all the population that has the most amount of guns are right-wing lunatics, and right-wing lunatics want to kill us, so we need to be able to kill them back once they shoot the first bullet. So that's my 2 cents on the matter. I think bump stocks aren't, like, the whole point of bump stocks is through just physics turn a semi-automatic weapon into an automatic. That's just them's the bricks, and I don't think, like, I don't have a whole bunch of feelings about this by and large because we're going, like, there's so many things that are probably going to have to change macroly before we can stop violent lunatics from shooting up schools, because people care more about the perceived threat of the government taking away firearms more than protecting children. I have since become desensitized to it, which is disgusting and awful, but it them's the breaks. I don't see any reason why bump stocks should come back other than conservative ideology dictating that in all its contradictory forms. But what can you do? All we can do is continue to prevent right-wing goons from getting into higher levels of politics. Even, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not want to vote for Joe Biden because of personal issues or what the fuck ever, still go vote on election day, because there's a ton of down ballot elections that you're going to want to hit. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate you, your time, and your viewership. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you want to support this show, please consider doing so at HIMedia.gg/tip. $1 a month is a boon to my mental health and gives you access to exclusive and early access content on our Discord channel, including other perks at HIMedia.gg/tip again. Please, I am very poor. Thank you so very much for listening to your HIMediaTV news update. I appreciate you, your time, and your listenership, and I will see you guys next time.